while you're already a well-known director in Nigeria, maybe not all of the people in the audience know who you are, so maybe you could briefly introduce yourself and the work that kind of resulted eventually in making Kamsi.
All right, my name is Uzodinma Okpechi. I'm a filmmaker. I have 25 years of experience spanning music videos, documentaries, TV productions, and filmmaking. So, Kamsi was a project that I wanted to make, to speak for me and for what was on my mind rather than what was going on around the climb or the kind of movies that people were making at the time I made it. The film was shot in 2018 and with a loan from the Bank of Industry, but it was a soft loan, so to say. So that was the kind of belief I had to stick out my neck and go this route when so many others were going another route. Post-production was finished last year, and Kamsi has been going around festivals, and this is about the 6th or the 7th festival that it has gone to, and it has won in all the festivals it has gone to. So that's a brief of Kamsi. Yeah.
And why did you specifically want to tell this story that we just saw?
I just wanted something different. I wanted a film that would be visually speaking, more of dialogue reading. I wanted to be out of the box. Earlier on today at the university, when we had the talk we had and all that, I remember I told you that some angry men were angry that everybody was put in a box and some of us didn't fit in that box. So I just wanted another voice and another shift from the kind of stories that were being told at the time this film was produced, which was 5 years ago. So I'm glad that it's been released now, 5 years later, and it's still holding its ground, So that just shows you that whatever belief and whatever audacity you have, put it into play, not minding what is happening around you, and that will become your own ambassador too. So something I was shot 5 years ago is traveling around the world 5 years later, and hey, like I said, it's holding its ground. Yeah. It was shot in Jos, and a bit of it was shot in Taraba. Anybody that is versatile with Nigeria will know that Jos is probably one of the best places to shoot in Nigeria. And it was shot at a particular time. Yeah, you guys have winter here, we have Harmattan over there, that's our winter. And notice that the background, dry, rusty, grit, that was exactly what we wanted. And you notice the shallow depth of field, you couldn't really see far in the background. What you will see is fog. And what we're trying to do is we were trying to tell a visual story of the journey of the character, the main character, which was Jose Namani, where he was at that time. Yeah, he was put in a valley. You see he was surrounded by a hill and all those things were done intentionally. Nothing on Kamsi was accidental, from their costumes to the locations I talked to the art department, to the production design, to the filming and the style of filming. Like you noticed, it was all intentional. Every shot you see can be explained, even till the end. That is where you see him a bit happy throughout the film, and that is when you now see greenery, meaning that life is back to him and all that, and you see a bit of color now in the movie towards the end. If not, everything was just bland, and that is just to take, whoever was watching through that visual narration, that hey, even if you're not listening to the dialogue of the story, whatever that you're seeing there is telling you something is happening, and it's not something good, starting from the black and white picture of the burial, running through the movie. So the theme from the beginning was to use, dull colors here and there, from the hues that we used, dull browns, ash, gray, black, white, The only color that popped up a bit was red, which was the car, if you noticed, and that was even signifying danger before he entered it, and of course he entered a dangerous environment. So, it's. I wanted something that was visually speaking. That's it.
Before giving the mic to the floor, I have one more question, and because you're talking about visually speaking, but I thought that the sound design was also quite interesting because it sometimes seems, or actually throughout the whole movie, that the dialogue was kind of isolated of the soundtrack, that you mainly heard the dialogue. There was also, of course, background music, but it was mainly the dialogues that you heard, as if there was nothing else but the dialogues. Was that intentional as well, or how did you go about that?
I I don't understand the question. Can you take that again? I understand the bit that you said you like the sound design and all, but the question, please, can you take that again? I don't understand.
Well, it seemed that in comparison to many other films, that the dialogue, like the speech of people, was more isolated and emphasized than in other movies, as if there was only the dialogue and not that much background
Oh,
sounds,
okay,
except
okay.
maybe the music that was
Okay,
playing as
okay.
well, but it was like they were really emphasized. So
Okay, I get you now. You're
Okay.
talking about the soundtracks, yeah?
Yeah.
The different tracks, the ambience, the foley, the SFS sound and all. Yeah, you talked about it being produced for 5 years. That was what we were going through. I had sound issues from our original location sound on set, and so when I got to the studio, we decided to do some of the sound as ADR, that is the dialogue, track. But when I started it and I had what I had reproduced in the studio and compared it in juxtaposition to what we had on set, I was like, there was no way I was going to match this. So I'm going to go 100% ADR. And I took that decision naively, not knowing it was going to leave a hole in my pocket. So, yeah, that's what happened. So it's not that the production took that long, it was that I ran out of money, in post. And I wanted it to be 100% ADR, which is something somebody like you have just noticed. Because that now gave me the opportunity to have different tracks. The dialogue track, the foley track, the music track, the ambience track, and the SFS track were all different. So in the sound design, it was easier to know what to bring up and what to override the other and the rest. And hey, like I said, it all worked out for good at the end. So the time wasn't really wasted as I thought then, and the money, was put to good use after all. So we were able to get over the line last year, like I said. So it wasn't a 5-year project as it were. It's just that it took 5 years to finish the job, not something. Yeah.
all right, thank you.
Yeah.
Are there any questions from the audience? And because the light is shining in our eyes, we don't really see a hand. I think I see a hand there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can shout out.
Yeah, I'd like to know, so the father of Kamsi,
Yes.
was he difficult to find, or did you already know who he could be as an actor? Because he's not an actor that I've seen before.
That's another thing we wanted to do with Kamsi. Nigeria is blessed with a lot of very good actors, but it's not all of them that have the opportunity or have the belief of those that put down money. I have the belief of those that put down money. To them, they are not bankable. That is another thing Kamsi wanted to do. Everybody you see now on this film were not stars when this film was shot, except Wale and Sam Dede. Those were the two. But every other person there is even bigger than the first two I mentioned. Bimbo Ademoye has gone haywire, so to say. Timini Egbosin, Ben Tweety, they are all established faces now in Nollywood. But back then they were not. I wanted quality actors. I wasn't looking for faces. And I knew that filmmaking was beyond using faces. that was it. But we were made, or so many of us were made back in the day to believe that without certain people, you understand. So this was a rebellious attempt when it was shot. And like I said, I am glad that at the end of the day that, he's holding his ground, and it is in the now where the space is democratized. It's not like before now. We have choices now. I don't have to listen to anyone. I don't have to go to the cinemas. I can shoot and go straight to any of the over-the-top platforms. So, yeah, it was done conscientiously with the hope that it will, birth a revolution. But I didn't know that it was going to be 5 years later, and I will even have more options of play. And gladly, one of the over-the-top platforms has picked up the film, and it's going to be released between now and January. Right.
I think there was another question, but we, again, don't really see it that well, so if you can just shout out your question, that would be
Yeah, maybe
appreciated.
about the language.
Yeah.
Because it's in English. It would have been in a traditional language as well. Is that also a choice? Or?
I don't know why it wasn't requested for the SRT files we had. In Athens, it was all subtitled in Greek. So they didn't ask for it, the organizers, with all due respect. I will have given them the SRT files, and it will have been translated probably in any other language that people over here would have preferred that it is. But the one, when I went to Athens, this was translated to Greek, and it was well received too. So.
I think what she means is that the characters all speak in English, but
Yeah.
that it could also be that the characters were speaking in a traditional Nigerian language.
Yeah, they
Was
spoke
that
in
what you
Pidgin.
meant?
They spoke. Some of the characters spoke in Pidgin, and Pidgin is accepted as our other lingua franca apart from English. So I don't know whether that answers your question or
Yeah, but
something.
it could be, for example, the
Right.
movie, I saw the movie last year,
Okay,
Traditional.
yes.
That could have been also.
All right, you will have preferred that it was in one of our languages,
I
yeah?
just like that, yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
All right. Okay, thank you. I understand now. All right, thank you. All right.
Any other questions from the audience? Well, if not, then I would like to.
Yeah, one more question.
Yes, of course.
How many cameras?
I shot with just a camera. I told you it was a rebellious project, yeah. Shot it, yeah. And you also noticed that most of the shots were on stick. Yeah, all right, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was in Colorado Film School, but it was a master class. This wasn't a full course, it was just a month. Because I was already a filmmaker before I went to film school. So what I went was just to brush up, yeah, and hone my skill more. And I'm glad I went to film school because I got better after film school. Yeah. Okay. Please go ahead. I'm just supposing you with a lady in Athens. Yeah, there was a lady that kept going on, and she was an American Greek. You know, so that's what is happening all over now with you. But I'm fine. Please shoot.
No, you mentioned before.
Yeah.
And I've also heard it in interviews.
Yeah.
Movie videos.
Yeah, music videos. I started off as a music video director. Yeah, back in the day.
Do something with that still or not?
Right now, no. But yeah, if I get offers, yeah, but I'm not looking for. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I will let you have a link after this time out. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so we do have. Oh, there is one more question.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
they're
And
coming up.
how many people they are watching movies in Nigeria at the moment? How many people? How many million people like?
I don't have
movies?
that statistic right now, but Nigeria is a country with over 220 million people in population, and the biggest black nation on earth. If I would hazard a guess, I would say maybe half of Nigeria watch Nollywood stuff, and that was what buoyed our confidence that we move forward. Just like in India, yeah, they watch their stuff majorly first of all. So even if the whole world is not watching Indian films, they are good. They're still going to make money because India is over 1 billion in population. So I want to also I'll be thankful to Nigerians for that push, because if we didn't start as little as we started back in the day, and if most importantly we never had that audience, we would have moved on and gotten better and to this pedestal that we are now. Yeah. All right.